The story begins in ancient Japan from a place called Ako, where feudal lords still hold absolute power. Some samurai bring in a strange boy they've captured. His name is Kai, and no one knows where he comes from. Everyone suspects he might be some kind of spirit or demon. They don't want to keep him in their domain because his skin is unnaturally pale, and they fear him. But the Lord Asano, declares that the boy will stay. Asano's daughter Mika also likes Kai, and the two quickly become friends. Kai grows up in that domain, always treated as an outsider. People behave coldly toward him, but he remains grateful for Lord Asano's mercy and Mika's friendship. One day, hunters go out to capture a monstrous beast that has terrified the villagers. The creature is enormous, with 6 eyes, strong enough to toss horses into the air. We see a samurai named Asano whose sword falls, leaving him defenseless against the beast. Kai risks his life and kills the creature. He saves Asano's life, and even returns his sword to him. Asano, disgusted, says, "It would have been better if I had died. This impure thing saved me." Disgusting. Everyone believes Asano killed the beast. Asano stays silent and takes all the credit. Before leaving, Kai notices a strange white fox watching him intently. Its eyes are 2 different colors. Meanwhile, in another domain, called Nagato, the same white fox appears before Lord Kira. Suddenly, the fox transforms into a beautiful woman. She is actually Kira's spy. She informs him that their plan to eliminate Lord Asano has failed. When the hunters return, Mika welcomes her father and asks if he was injured. Asano jokes, worried about someone special. It's revealed why killing the 6-eyed beast was so important. A grand tournament called Shogun is about to take place, and everything must be perfect. Asano is very pleased with Mika's work. He says if her mother were alive today, she would be proud. That night, Mika goes to Kai. He is injured, so she tends to him. She then brings up Asano, saying that when everyone praised him, shame was in his eyes. Kai understands that Mika knows the truth. He immediately says, "I don't want any trouble. Leave." He also confesses, "I will always love you, but my place is different from yours." Soon, the grand day of Shogun arrives. A woman appears who looks strangely familiar. Her eyes are also 2 different colors, exactly like the fox we saw in the forest. Kai finds this odd, and goes to tell Oishi. Neither of them knows that Oishi's son Shinkara is eavesdropping. Kai says, "There is a sorceress among us." Oishi reminds him that only demons can see a sorceress's true face. "How do you know all this?" The next day, the festival begins again, and Lord Kira arrives. He speaks politely to Lord Asano, but deep down, both hate each other. Kira mocks, "Wow, what a lovely mistress you have." Furious, Asano replies, "She is my daughter. Speak with respect." After the drama, it's time for the duel between the 2 domains. Kira's warrior is impressive, and everyone is in awe. Kira taunts Mika, "Don't worry, I'm sure your father's chosen warrior will be just as strong." But no one has much faith in him, because Asano chose Yasuno, believing he killed the 6-eyed beast. Everyone waits for Yasuno, but just before the fight, the white fox appears to him again, and now he looks changed. When Shinkara comes to fetch him, Yasuno is in no condition to fight. Kai says, "Call someone else," but there's no time left. If their warrior doesn't appear soon, it will be a huge disgrace for Asano. Samurai wear masks, so no one will know who is fighting. Everyone is bored waiting. The shogun sends his servant to ask Asano, "Where is your warrior?" Then, Ako's warrior finally arrives. His entrance is not as grand as his opponent's, but everyone breathes a sigh of relief. But the relief is short-lived. Kira's warrior begins destroying the poor man. One arrow strike knocks off his mask, shocking everyone. The shogun stops the fight and comes down. In one glance, he recognizes that Kai is no samurai. The shogun orders another warrior to finish him. Terrified, Mika stands in front of Kai to protect him. Lord Asano begs forgiveness and takes all the blame. He says, "If someone must be punished, punish me." The shogun agrees and leaves the punishment to the people. That same evening, the sorceress appears before Lord Kira and explains her plan to seize Ako domain. She says, "The time is perfect. Asano is under heavy pressure right now." Using her magic, she creates a spider, 6-eyed and terrifying once again. Now we understand where the earlier beast came from. The spider bites Asano with venom, making him hallucinate that Kira is attacking Mika. In his delusion, Asano draws his sword to save his daughter. But the attack he makes on Kira is real and visible to everyone. Samurai rush to stop him. Kira pretends to be the victim. For this incident, Asano is sentenced to death because he attacked a guest. But because of his status, he is allowed to perform the act himself. Later, Asano tells Oishi that this is better than hanging. Oishi says it's wrong. You were under a spell. What is your fault? But Asano is only thinking about his family's honor. He goes to say goodbye to Mika. He tells her, don't cry, don't show them you're weak. Then he goes to a place with Oishi. Oishi cleans his sword for him. Kai is still recovering from his wounds, but everyone else is present and witnesses Asano's end. The samurai want revenge for their lord's death. Oishi says that if they fight now, the entire domain will be in danger, not just warriors, but farmers and villagers too. A samurai's first duty is to protect others. Mika tells the shogun that as Asano's only daughter, she will rule the domain until her marriage. But she doesn't know everything is already decided. Lord Kira will now be the ruler of Ako. Mika is given 1 year to mourn. After that, she will be married to Kira. The shogun declares that Asano's samurai are no longer samurai. They are now ronin. He also clearly states that they will not take revenge. Upon taking power, Kira's first act is to expel the ronin from his land. He declares that any ronin found there will be killed. Hearing this, Mika is deeply saddened, but nothing is over yet. Kai is dragged in with a rope. Kira tells his future wife to look at him one last time, because she will never see him again. Then he calls one of his men and asks what to do with Oishi. He has no trust in him, so Oishi is thrown into prison. He remains there for a full year. One stormy night, he is dragged out and left in a weak state. His wife and son rush to him and give him warm food. His wife tells him that all their people have left Ako. Mika is taken to the palace to prepare for her wedding because the 1 year mourning period is about to end. Oishi asks what happened to Kai. Shinkara says he was sold into slavery far away. After eating, Oishi stands up and tells his son he needs 3 horses immediately. His wife tries to stop him, but Oishi says to tell the whole world that they are divorced. There is work that must be done, and this is the only way to save them. He says goodbye to her, explains some things to Shinkara, and rides away on horseback. After searching for a long time, he finds Kai in terrible condition. He is being forced to fight for the entertainment of drug addicts in a ring. Oishi enters the ring disguised as a fighter, the only way he can talk to Kai. But after a year of torture, Kai has become nothing but a fighting machine. He no longer recognizes Oishi. Oishi keeps saying, "It's me, pay attention," but Kai keeps attacking relentlessly, as if only his body is fighting while his soul is gone. He only snaps out of it when he hears Mika's name. Then they both escape from the fighting ring, dodging bullets. After going far, they talk. Their relationship has completely changed. Kai is no longer the quiet boy. He has become quick to speak and full of anger. Oishi admits he should have believed him about the sorceress. Lord Kira killed their master through deception. Now Oishi needs Kai's help. After a year in prison, Oishi's thinking has also changed a lot, and he now treats Kai with great respect. Soon, a man arrives outside Kira's palace with news from Dutch Island. He informs Kira that the warrior they sold has escaped with the help of a samurai. Kira orders the sorceress to find Oishi immediately. He wants him eliminated completely. Meanwhile, Kai and Oishi reach a pond where Shinkara is waiting for them. Shinkara has gathered all of Oishi's men there. He says he has a plan, but it goes against the shogun's orders, meaning anyone involved will not live long. When he reveals that the goal is to kill Lord Kira, all the ronin shout with enthusiasm. Everyone agrees to follow his plan. There are many guards in the castle, and security is tight. They need to find out when Kira will visit his temple, and they also need more people and swords. Oishi assigns these tasks to his men. One of them gets angry at Kai and tries to attack him, saying he is not a samurai. Oishi stops him and says neither are you anymore, none of us are samurai now. Each team goes to carry out their part. Soon, Oishi and Kai reach a place called Yutsu, a village of sword makers. The place looks deserted, not a single person in sight. When they see some soldiers, Oishi says they are farmers who came to buy tools. The soldiers look at Shinkara's hands and say those don't look like a farmer's hands. Kai realizes what's about to happen and immediately attacks. He finishes them so quickly that the remaining soldiers are terrified. They begin picking up the dead soldiers' swords. By now, it is clear that Kira has conquered the entire area, and they won't get weapons there. Kai then reveals his secret. He says they can find weapons in the Tengu forest, where he grew up among spirits and demons. He swears he will never use the magic they gave him. Oishi doesn't like the idea, but he has no other choice. Revenge must be taken at any cost. One of their men arrives with news of Lord Kira's next visit, but he suddenly meets a mysterious woman with 2 different colored eyes and becomes distracted. Meanwhile, outside the cave, the Ronin discuss their doubts about Kai. They decide to go inside despite being told not to. Inside, Kai enters a chamber alone. A strange man appears and talks with him about how people like Kai are treated badly in the human world but accepted among spirits. In another chamber, chaos unfolds, except it's all an illusion. It is a test of Oishi's determination and trust. When Kai returns, he has many swords. Now all the Ronin come out of the cave. Isegai brings news that Lord Kira is leaving that night. Oishi takes the message but doesn't notice something strange about him. Shinkara wants to join the fight, but his father refuses. Night falls and the plan begins. Kira's castle is filled with soldiers. A theater troupe is allowed inside, and hidden among them are Kai and Oishi. Mika is brought before Kira in her wedding attire. As the performance begins, the Ronin silently eliminate guards and replace them without raising suspicion. Suddenly, something goes wrong. An arrow grazes Oishi's hand, and the attack on Kira fails. He is rushed away to safety. Battles erupt across the castle. Kai fights fiercely. Kira sends his most dangerous warrior, but a massive explosion kills him. The sorceress transforms and flies away. Mika seizes the chance to attack Kira, but fails and escapes. The castle becomes a battlefield. Kai and Mika reunite briefly, but the sorceress returns as a dragon. Kai fights her and, with a powerful strike, defeats her. Meanwhile, Oishi faces Kira in a final duel. He defeats and beheads him, ending everything. With Kira dead, his soldiers surrender. The 47 Ronin return to Ako with Mika. They honor Asano at his grave, and Oishi declares that revenge is complete. Finally, Mika confesses her love to Kai, and their love blossoms.